Hey guys, my name is Brian,
And I'm Adrian.
and this is Higher Thinking Live.
In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the third pillar,
Yeah, dimension.
dimension
Uh-huh.
of what it takes to accomplish great wellness.
Coming up.
It's a
We've been doing it for how long? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the live stream. Sorry we missed you on Monday, but it is another Friday here on the live stream. We hope you had a wonderful and productive week, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the weekend, and I hope you guys got some really good plans for the weekend. I know I have a really busy weekend coming up.
Do tell.
Starting with today, actually. Geez, I was like super busy all day. But anywho, today we are talking about emotional wellness, and we're gonna dive in on some some things that are gonna help us to, develop emotional wellness.
Yeah, some questions that are actually going to make you think about, am I doing well in this department? What do I need to do? Where do I need to look to actually get to a better state, right? So it's good to hear that you had a busy week or a busy day as well. And this weekend is also going to be busy. You got a lot of things going on. You got to shoot tomorrow. You got to shoot on Sunday. So
Yes.
it's good to hear, man. Good. Week is busy as always.
Uh-huh.
That's good, man. My busy was week as well.
Your busiest week?
I said it backwards. My week was also busy.
Oh, okay.
It was real interesting starting Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually starting this. I don't want to go into not this week, but last week. Starting Friday, and so good things are coming down the pipe. Good projects.
Nice.
Yeah, some good work. So yeah. So what is emotional wellness?
Well,
Well.
emotional wellness has to do, I guess, has to do on the side of, I guess the majority of it is on the side of mental wellness, right? Having good mental health versus physical. There's some physical involved because obviously, when we exercise and and get physical, whatever, like we talked about last time, it does dip into like the mentality stuff with our brain and create like science and stuff that happens and whatnot. But, emotional wellness is, it's a term often used in spiritual circles.
Yeah.
And it can often serve to fend off mental challenges.
Okay.
But what is it and what it does really mean to be emotionally well?
Sorry, I'm sharing the actual.
Oh yeah, I should do the same thing too.
YouTube link to my Facebook, and actually, I guess I could have tagged you so that
what's great about YouTube is that you get the link right away.
Yeah.
And then you can share it without even having to go live already. Because I've already done it. I've already shared it before we started going live.
Right. True.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So I guess there are some options on YouTube that are better than other platforms,
probably
just
benefit us a little bit better than Facebook. So
yeah, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, so emotional wellness is a term that is often used in spiritual circles, and it can often serve to tend mental or fend off mental challenges, right? So, but what is it? And like you said, obviously there's a lot of studies. There's a lot of, especially now with how society is in technology, and how there's a big disconnect between the two, or actually it's kind of an oxymoron, because there's a great disconnect between people, but there's actually technology is creating wonderful connections through technology as well at the same time, but it's also personally at a personal level it's disconnecting people, right? Which is kind of weird. You would expect that actually.
Well, I guess I think it's to each their own. I think everyone's gonna use technology according to their lifestyle.
Okay.
So whether they're not using technology or whether they're using the technology that they have around them, I think no matter what, they're gonna have the same outcome. It might speed up. The technology might speed it up, but I still believe that, I don't think technology is like the root of all evil or that it's the best thing in the world. Sometimes it's just because it's so personalized that, it can be anything for anyone.
Now, is this related to some personal experiences or something that happened that you're...
Just from what I've seen, my observation, me, I'm very analytical.
Right.
So whenever I see people, I kind of, I have this really weird thing where I study people, and I'll just watch them, not like in a creepy way, but like in an observation way, like I'm a scientist and I'm just doing some research or whatnot. So I'll basically kind of start to wonder, it's like, especially when it comes to cars, like, because I love cars so much.
So you also watch cars and analyze cars?
Well, no. People and their cars. I always ask myself, one of the questions I always ask myself is like, what drove them to make the decision to purchase that car? Why did they choose that car? Like, why are they driving that
and the
car?
options?
Yeah, exactly. Like when I think about this stuff, I think about like when they bought the car, where they're like, yes, this is the car I want, and this is the car of my dreams, or are they just trying to save some money and buy whatever they can get, can afford, or whatnot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I analyze people in that way. Same thing with technology and with social media. Because I hear things from different people where, oh no, social media is bad. And I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we did.
But
we can talk about it again. I mean, it's just something that changes every week, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and then there's people who say social media is great, man. It's a networking tool. That's how I use it. I use it to network. I use it to learn. We can learn so much faster than before the internet. So it's like that from that aspect, right? Like with the whole personal level is people just, whatever they get attached to, it's exactly that. It's part of it's an extension of themselves.
Okay.
So it is either, it's going to amplify whoever they are.
True.
And that's what technology is going to do for
money. Does the same thing, actually.
Exactly. Money, and it goes with everything. Everything.
Yeah. For sure. So how does that tie into emotional though? To emotional wellness?
Well,
because I mean, most of our actions are actually driven by emotion. I'll say that again. Most of our actions are driven by emotions.
Yeah, when we're not careful.
Okay, maybe that's something.
Because I used to let my emotions make all of my decisions.
Take over?
Yeah, take over. You're laughing like you know. So it's like, but I've learned to an extent. Maybe I still need more work, right? But
we all do.
I've learned to let myself calm down before I make any decision. Like if I'm all riled up and maybe a relationship will get affected because of that, and I'll just calm down. I'll probably wait a day before I make a decision about something.
Before reacting, yeah. Sure, yeah.
I might react internally, but externally,
you're like, "Cálmate, Brian. Cálmate." Inside, right?
Just one more day. Just one more day.
Please, don't let that get to you. So yeah, emotional wellness. It's the understanding and obviously respecting your feelings, values, and attitudes. So I mean, excuse me. Also appreciating the values or the feelings and values of others. Managing your emotions in a constructive way, right? And also feeling positive and enthusiastic about your life. Now, how does all this work? So respecting your feelings, right? So obviously you have to, in order to get a little better in this particular dimension, is you have to be mindful of your emotions, your feelings, I think, to kind of get this particular pillar in check, right? To get a balance.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of your feelings, right? Your values, and obviously your attitudes. You have to pay attention to them, and then question yourself often about your reactions from these emotions, these feelings, right? Now also appreciating the feelings of others, so respecting other people's feelings,
Right.
emotions, and attitudes. Because I mean, it's happened to everybody. I'm not going to say I've never done it, or I have, and I'm not going to say that I feel ashamed of it. But I just didn't know any better. But now it's like, okay, so let's say whether it's you or anybody else, if they're going through something, instead of me being quick to judge or criticize or respond or react, I'll sit there and just like think. It's kind of similar to what Dan Pena said, if somebody were just, spit in your mom's face, or it's not nowhere close or near to what he says. I'm not going to sit there and analyze why, but to a certain degree, I think it's important to analyze and understand why a certain thing happened before you actually react to it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that a lot of things that I hear are like, you don't know what that person is going through to that day. Maybe like somebody gave you some attitude or said some hurtful things, and they might be going through a rough day or whatever, right?
True.
So that's kind of like one thing that I've heard people say whenever something like that does happen, and kind of get you to try to understand, or try to see it from a different perspective, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, we're driving on the road and something does happen, and we're quick to react. A lot of times we don't understand. Maybe that person is in a hurry, or is trying to get to a family member that is in need, or maybe he's got someone in the car that is, that he's taking him to the ER. And I think we've been in this scenario, actually. I was just thinking, you just never know, right?
Yeah, you never know. You never know what's going on.
So
and here's another thing about me where, I get very...
Oh, is it about you?
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about you.
No. Where I get very analytical, right?
Yeah.
Because... And I don't know if anybody else does. And if anybody else does, let us know in the comments. I would like to make sure that I'm not the only one who does this. But, excuse me, what I do is when I'm driving, I'm going somewhere, and, traffic, right? There's
Chicago,
tons of people, especially on Thursday. I don't know what was going on Thursday, but everyone was going to work. Everyone and their mother was going to work. But anywho, long story short, I started to think about, like, I step out of myself, and, first I think about myself and my life and my world, right? What's going on in my head and the world around me and the people in my life. And then I see all the people on the road, and I think about, that's like me times 20, 50, 100 people, so it's like, for sure, the world is bigger than just me, right?
Oof.
And I think about that like almost every day, every single day. Someone walking down the sidewalk or walking down the street. Yeah, it's like that's a whole nother world right there.
Yeah, it's another multiverse. It's another.
Yeah. So that's not just me going on a tangent now.
No, but it's important. It's important because I think what you're trying to do with that is something I just mentioned, is appreciating the feelings of others.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Which also then leads you to be more, just to be a better human being. I think, compassionate and
right.
And understand that. Yeah, you got issues, and yeah, your emotions and your feelings and your reactions are important, but. What if someone is in bigger trouble than you are? Do you really want to contribute to their emotional distress, or you just want to make it better? Right? By the same token, what if you are actually going through some harsh scenario and somebody actually just goes off on you for no reason, instead of, wouldn't you, I think you would prefer that person, instead of, overreacting, would actually say, hey, how you doing? Is everything okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Something along those lines. So, now, how did you manage your emotions in a constructive and not a destructive way?
By staying positive.
Yeah. How can you stay positive?
By telling yourself, stay positive.
How did you tell
stay
yourself?
Positive. Calm down. Just, I see the silver lining, I guess, The silver lining is
Silver lining.
Yeah.
What does that mean, the silver lining?
So silver lining is where you see the good that came out of something bad.
Okay.
Right?
Silver lining.
Have you heard that before?
I have. I never really understood why it was called a silver lining.
I've always heard it called a silver lining, and I don't know why, but you know what? I actually Googled it right now, but I know what it means, right? It's to see the good out of something bad, right?
Okay.
And a silver lining is a term when you want to emphasize the hopeful side of a situation that might seem gloomy, right? What I said on the surface, but it comes from, I guess it comes from clouds,
okay,
where the sun is behind them, and you see the outline of the cloud, right? So the sun is behind that gray cloud. Yeah. Because you can see the outline of the sun.
Correct.
Or glaring through that cloud.
Okay.
So that's
metaphorically speaking, that's what it means.
Right.
Okay. I wonder why they call it silver though.
Well, because the cloud is white, and then it's white, but then it's gray when it's like dark or kind of like filled with
right.
Condensation.
The lack of light, or exposure in the light.
I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist, dude. It says here that the origin of the idiom "every cloud has a silver lining" is most likely traceable to the year 1634, when John Milton penned his Masque Comus. In it, the quote appears as, "Was I deceived, or did a sable cloud turn forth her silver lining on the night?" That's very poetic.
Very.
So yeah,
poetic.
Every cloud has a silver lining. So
unlike me, very poetic.
So yeah, there you go. Knowledge.
That is awesome, man. So obviously, I guess that managing your emotions in a constructive way. So that kind of covers it, right?
We got a comment here.
Do we?
Yeah. Just now. Hey guys, it also takes empathy, being able to sense other people's emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did you already? Were you?
Yeah.
Is that in response to that comment?
No, I don't. No. That's a new comment. I didn't see it.
Okay.
Yeah. I had not seen that comment, but yeah, that's and yeah. But I think I don't know when she posted this, but I think it's exactly right along with what I said. Being showing empathy when or being able to show empathy when other people are actually going through emotional distress. So
yep.
Yeah. Yep. So. What other questions? Are there any questions?
Doesn't look like it, but I'm trying to get my document. Oh, here it is.
You can't. Can you reply to comments or no? No.
You just got to add to the comments.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, where are we here? Okay. So, we got a few questions here. We got about 8 questions that will help us and help you. Obviously get this dimension in line. But there's one more point I wanted to touch on is before we jump onto those questions, on how to create awareness within us to stay positive and to do, be on watch for our emotions.
Yeah.
Be on the watch. Be on guard.
Be on guard.
Yeah. Be on.
What do you
guard.
mean? Like be on guard? Like sounds kind of like being paranoid.
Not to that extent. I don't think. Not to that level. Being, like, okay. So right now, what am I feeling right now, and why?
Mm-hmm.
What caused me to feel this way? Is it good? Is it bad? What is it going to do? How is it going to help? Is it maybe preparing me for something that's coming down the road?
Mm-hmm.
So once you start analyzing that a little bit, and actually you kind of preparing yourself for anything really.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you feel positive and enthusiastic about your life? One thing I can say in relation to this bullet point here is we always look at in our lives we always look at what we're missing in our lives, right? But we never look at what we already have.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody. I'm not being like,
sure,
but it's just
sometimes we tend to
complain because we don't
not
have
necessarily
this,
complain,
we don't
but
have that,
like,
we don't have the other, we need this, we need the other.
Acknowledge the things that we don't have instead of acknowledging what we do have.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, hey, Pirates Pop. Oh, someone's saying hi. Happy I can't read.
What?
I can't read. Happy Friday. Remember to tell us if you're here. Okay, so anybody else on here? Any questions, comments, anything you'd like
comments,
to add?
complaints? Are we putting you to sleep? Are you trying to go to sleep and we're putting you to sleep, so we're doing a good job? Let us know. What is this? So here's one thing that I do want to bring up.
Nelly Nova, man, we're getting more action here on YouTube from people, from external people, like liking the stream.
Where?
So maybe my friends.
Your friends?
More, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Oh, maybe I should
on
there we go.
on YouTube. So yeah.
Well, where did you leave off at? Because I think I do want to, talk about how we can begin to, begin the route to emotional wellness.
I think that's next. So I would start with, so how do you treat others in your life? Both personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be
one thing that I strongly believe in is treating the janitor with the same respect that you would treat the CEO of
the owner of the company. Yeah. Absolutely.
And whether it's called a janitor or custodian or whatnot in 2020, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you guys understand what we're talking about. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's position in their job.
Quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah, for sure. So that would be what you were talking about, where how you would
right here, treat other people.
Yeah.
How do you treat others in your life, both personally and professionally? So those who are emotionally well tend to be more sensitive towards others, right? And compassionate about the needs of others, and in general are more spiritually generous.
Mm-hmm.
So
in general, more spiritually generous.
Yeah, generous. See,
in
general,
general,
not even 10 o'clock is the new 10. 8 o'clock is the new 10 o'clock.
Yeah. I turned another year older, so.
So yeah, that would be one question, right? So, and if you guys want, you can write it down. Whoever's listening, whoever cares to write it down. I think these are very important questions to take in consideration. It's kind of like a checklist. Do an inventory, see how well you're doing in this dimension.
Yeah,
of the 8 dimensions. So
Melania says, I listen to my friends because sometimes they need to vent their emotions, and that's good. when you're talking to your friends about emotional stuff, and because you do need to let it out. You don't want to bottle it up and not tell anybody.
True.
Because if we don't, then it just gets stuck in our head, and then our mind starts creating these scenarios that are not even real.
Right. And that starts to affect other dimensions of wellness as well. Physical, intellectual.
Yeah.
Because you're giving too much time and space to those thoughts that you can't learn. You can't put anything else inside of it because you're constantly thinking about negative stuff. So,
yeah.
Or things or happenings, and like you're saying, right? So yeah, I think it's
So when talking about it to somebody else, it's helpful. That's helpful because you're making it real, right? You make it tangible now, and not only that, but you have another perspective. You've got someone else that could potentially help you or give you ideas as to how to get better or overcome that emotional distress.
Yeah, for sure. So that would be question number 1 to ask yourself, right? How do you treat others in your life, both personally and professionally? And that means your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your cousin, your tia, everybody,
your neighbor,
yourself,
your dog,
and most importantly, yourself. How you treat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you constantly think that you're not enough, or that you could have been better off, being born a male if you're a female, or vice versa? Or in a different country, or a different family, or a different town? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think, and I'll be clear on this. You are where you are because that's where you need to be in the time that you are. It's not Inception, is it?
Maybe
sounds like a little bit.
A little.
We should do. We should do a topic in Inception.
Inception?
Yeah, I think we should.
I don't know about that.
We're gonna lose the.
I think
audience, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or I don't know. We might pick up a different type of audience.
Yeah, there you go. So, question number 2: Are you grateful?
Are you grateful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What?
Hold on.
Santi?
This is my daughter's school.
Get it. So yeah, are you grateful? So emotionally healthy people feel gratitude for their lives and for all the goodness they experience. Obviously, what does it take? What does it mean to be grateful? I kind of just mentioned about that, right? Because for everything that happens to you and around you, did you often think that it's happening because the universe is trying to conspire against you, or do you actually think it's happening to you because someone is trying to teach you a lesson, or there's something to be learned from that experience? And so I think being grateful, it's a great medicine, starting in the morning when you get up. Right. If you feel grateful for everything that you have, for the fact that you're able to open up your eyes one more day and have one more shot, one more opportunity at life and happiness, I think that's something to be grateful for. And obviously, noticing this in the morning also, it's also really going to create a great mood for the rest of the day. And so. Obviously, people that are grateful are also appreciative, but they do have, rather than bemoaning what they do not have, is they usually count all their life's blessings, I was just saying. And this does not always pertain to money or material objects, let's be clear on that, but rather relates to more spiritual aspects of their lives. Do you have a roof over your head? You have a blanket to keep you warm. You have shoes to put on your feet. And so, I mean, I could mention 1,000 things right now to be grateful for every single day. Your family that loves you, your brothers, your sisters that love you. If you're not grateful for that, then it maybe perhaps is time to analyze your situation. Now, I just switched over to the chat section in the YouTube, and Sick Boy says, I disagree. I'm not sure who that is. But
Sick Boy, what do you disagree with?
we appreciate your coming in, and it's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But, yeah,
it doesn't mean that you're against our beliefs. It's that your mindset and your belief system is just a little bit different, and that's okay, because every individual is different, and that's great. But if you could comment again in the chat box, what you disagree to and why. We just want to understand other people's point of view, right? So
Definitely. So sorry about that. I got a call from my daughter's school.
so good. It's so good. I hope everything's all right.
Well, apparently one of the teachers got infected with the coronavirus at her old school
Oh,
in the city.
okay.
So they said it's still like,
Fine.
yeah. But
She doesn't go there anymore.
No, she doesn't go there anymore.
Okay.
So we'll
Wow.
see what happens. Yeah, they said they're still not going to close schools because they're still threat level low. So, but we'll see what happens.
Now, it's kind of weird, actually. I'm going to use that a little bit here to talk about this. So, are you grateful now? Can someone be grateful for being in this situation? That teacher, right? Or that school?
For having the virus?
Yeah.
Are we trying to go from their perspective to see if we'd be grateful for getting the coronavirus? Or
Just
grateful to be in
general.
that, grateful for being in that situation where
Correct.
they're infected and now they have to be, isolated from everyone else.
Just in general, be
Like
given a
trying to
virus.
find a silver lining in all of that.
Me too. I shouldn't have opened that kind of worms, I think.
I mean,
But I'm saying, could you be grateful, even though, you got the coronavirus, but could you still be grateful for other things?
you can be grateful. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the coronavirus. I don't really know how it works. And I don't know what the process is for, from when you get the coronavirus and then what they're doing to treat people with the coronavirus and, whether it's ultimately, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right? Because I just haven't been really, I've been paying attention to, I've been hearing what's like people infected, but after that, I haven't heard anything. I know there's a bunch of people dead in China,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But
There's people dying everywhere just because of that. But
I guess what
maybe
I'm
that's a
saying
different
is that whether if you get the coronavirus, is that pretty much just like a death certificate?
I don't think so. I think it can be
Right.
treated right.
Right.
So
That's how much I don't know.
at that point, could you be grateful if you die from it?
Well, I think if you're in whether you're going to die, whether you're going to be treated and recover, I don't know. I think you could be grateful. Depending on the type of life that you had, right?
Yeah.
It really depends on the life that you had. I don't know. If I lived a life where,
No regrets.
I guess no. If I lived a life where I ended up with having a bunch of regrets, not doing things that I loved doing or not seeing my family,
Yeah.
then yes, I probably couldn't see the silver lining in that situation. But if I lived a life that, I got to do everything that I wanted to do and I had a great life with my family, even though if I was young when I got if that were to happen to me or something like that, from that perspective, I would, I could be grateful, right?
Right.
So I guess it really depends, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a touchy topic because there's other, not just There's too much involved with that. But so carry on here.
So Melania says, I'm grateful I have a job that lets me provide for my family. And I have good friends such as Emily and Josh. Shout out to Emily and Josh. Hey.
Yep. Shout out, man.
I love the fact I have good health too.
Ooh.
She also says, my job got a notice about the virus today from our building. Oh, dang.
What do you think about this? No, let's not talk about this for now. We should talk. We'll probably talk about this on Monday, maybe, or some other time.
Yeah.
But yeah, might be an interesting topic, and we should actually understand how it actually works. I think. We all know that it came from a person who ate bat meat.
Really?
From a bat. Yeah.
I didn't know where it came from.
Yeah. So
everyone around me is talking about like government stuff. Governmental experiments and viruses and that they contain and create and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Anyway, so question number 3, and I hope you're taking note. Are you happy with the person you are? I think that's a great question.
That is a good question because that's a good way to analyze whether you are where you want to be or whether you need to change or you need to do something about it. Right?
Yeah. Emotionally, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think the best way to kind of get there is to write it all down. Yeah. You know, like who are you now and who do you want to be? Right?
Yeah. How are you going to get there?
One day at a time.
Yeah. So those who are emotionally healthy are usually content with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Emotionally healthy are usually content with themselves. So I'm happy with myself. So that means I'm emotionally healthy.
But are you content with yourself?
Yeah, same thing. Happy.
Same thing?
Content, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they might feel as if they're living their lives they've always wanted to live, right?
Yeah.
But they also take care of themselves physically and psychologically by doing what is beneficial for them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of, you're kind of expected to do that, right? But a lot of us forget about it.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're really complainers, but instead might be seekers who are often trying to become better people and help those around them do the same. They might also engage in positive self-talk. Positive self-talk.
Ooh.
What's that? Like having a positive business meeting with yourself?
Yeah, when you're
self-employed.
With your staff.
When you're self-employed.
Yeah.
You're having a positive business meeting with yourself.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I do that a lot. I don't want to sound weird, but I
positive.
I talk to myself a lot, man.
You know,
a lot.
I talk to myself all the time, like all the time,
all day long, driving.
Yeah. People might think I'm talking to my dog Hazy when she's near my. No, I'm talking to myself. But Hazy's like an excuse. Like, no, I'm just no, but yeah, usually I do positive self-talk after like I cook a delicious meal. I'm like, dude, good job. You know,
I'll do that again. Now I'm driving. Sometimes I'm driving and I'm like, or when I do something like I'm being putsy, you know, like I drop something or I tip something over like water or juice or coffee. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I'll be like, come on, Adrian. I mean, that's unlike you. Don't do that again, please. And it kind of works. Yeah. It takes a long time for me to do it again.
Yeah.
So, question number 4.
Are you open? Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
We should have said it together. We should just kept going. Are you open-minded and flexible?
Do you think I'm open-minded?
I think you are very open-minded.
Are you open-minded?
Maybe not as open-minded as you.
Okay.
But I am pretty open-minded.
Am I open-minded? Now, that's a question from me to me. Am I open-minded? I think I am, but I think I could be better.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you flexible?
I am very flexible.
Let me see. Do the splits.
I could literally touch my heels.
You can touch it?
I can touch my heels, bending forward from underneath my feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm pretty flexible. But I don't think that's what they're talking about here. By the way, I do yoga about. I try to do yoga 3 times a week, 3 nights a week. But depending, on where I'm at and what's going on. But at least I try to do yoga once a week at least, and I do that.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
nothing to do with the kind of flexibility we're talking about here, but
it just has to do
just
with
as a
how
side
we always go
note,
on a
right?
tangent, but this, this means that you're self-aware and listen to the thoughts and musings of yourself and others. Also, you do not feel attached to any particular dogma or philosophy, but are willing to hear the viewpoints and musings of others. So that's what it means to be open-minded and flexible, right? You're not like single-sided. You're not like defending one team over the other. You're just like, all right, guys, let's all have a party, get together, and get to know each other, and explore. Right?
Yeah.
You're not afraid to explore.
Bring nothing but shoes.
Nothing but shoes.
If you want to go explore, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Oh,
Shoes. If you go explore, I'm kidding. I'm talking about outside. Go explore.
should I bring a map and Dora?
Bring Dora is a must. I mean, you have to bring shoes.
Number 5.
Do you have a life purpose? Dang, this is deep.
Yeah, we're getting pretty deep.
This is really, I mean, these questions, by the way, if you guys, maybe we should post them after we're done with, I'll put them in the comments after we're done with the live stream here in about 4 minutes. And, but yeah, I think it's important to, I mean, these are really good questions. Do you have a life purpose? What are you doing here? Are you actually just waiting for your day to come? Are you actually just contributing something every day? Did you constantly find yourself thinking of ways you could actually contribute to other people's lives?
Right.
Or are you just like, just waiting
coasting,
for my day,
cruising along?
I hope I don't die soon, but if I do, well, I'll be okay. Whatever.
I'll be okay, whatever.
So those who do generally have a well-developed sense of well-being because they have a reason to wake up in the morning.
A reason
to wake up in the morning.
And the reason is you.
I'm sure. Well, thank you. So they also have a tendency to see life's bigger picture. Not just your picture, right? Because it could be, it could be a 5x4, 4x6 picture, instead of a panoramic.
The big one.
Yeah,
the wide.
It goes from blocks on a kind of like graffiti on the walls in LA. That goes on for miles, like the graffiti.
Yeah.
That's the kind of picture I want to have.
Yeah, and they tend to know their core values, what's most important to them, and how to focus on their values.
Mm-hmm. So their purpose gives life meaning, whether it's professional, family, or community oriented.
Yeah. Familia.
I mean, I would say, familia first.
Yeah.
Then community, and then professional. I think that's a good way to put it. That's a good order to consider things. I think we have another comment here in. Melania says, "I am satisfied with the person I am becoming." That's great to hear. It's good. Please let us know, what are you doing to
get there.
To get there, right? To get this feeling, this emotion that you're satisfied with the person you are becoming, and also maybe please share, what's the difference between the person you were last week and the person you're becoming, or a month or a year ago. So feel free to share. Any other comments on there? Nothing much. Okay, so moving on.
Do you have ways to manage your stress? So those who are emotionally stable have their own ways of navigating the stressors in their lives, whether it's meditation, exercise, talk therapy, or creative pursuits such as art, music, or writing. They're able to maintain a balance between work and play. My work is play.
So you really don't have to do any extra activities to
I think I could throw in some exercise in there for sure. right? But as far as as far as managing stress, I think a lot of the stuff that I do kind of coincides with what this list is here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like with creative pursuits, art, music, writing. I'm writing a script.
You are?
For a film, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And maybe you could check it out.
Absolutely, and I'd be happy to check it out.
But yeah,
give it a listen.
But yeah, a lot of the things that I do, it's like I love doing it, and it's very therapeutic for me.
So wait, it's safe to say then that your work doesn't give you any stress?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten like an overload of work, right? It's just like this kind of steady pace, a decent pace to where it's like I'm not like overwhelmed with work. You know what I'm saying? Or and also like the work is like it's more on the being able to be creative and instead of like following a strict guidelines.
Okay.
It's more like, okay, I'm given the freedom to be creative with it, So it's at my own pace, my own way, my own terms. So.
And so that obviously keeps the stress levels down,
right?
And that's a good way to manage your stress levels, which also then contributes to how you're feeling emotionally, because then there's no really not a lot of stress, not a big amount of stress in your life related to what you're doing, and therefore so you enjoy it more. And that's awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's awesome. How does one find an environment where they can actually develop in this particular aspect, and also at the same time play during their work hours, like kind of like what you're doing, right? So you're playing. I mean, you're working, but it's kind of like play to you.
Yeah,
because you obviously enjoy it so much, and it brings satisfaction, with what you're doing. So how does one find something like that?
I mean, I just followed what I really love doing, and did whatever I had to do to make it my job.
Cool, man. So that means taking an extra class, learning an extra.
I think it's like it's first finding something that you really enjoy doing, something that you wouldn't mind spending time on, right?
I heard something. Do something that you or find something that you would still do even if you weren't getting paid,
right? Yeah,
or you didn't get paid.
Yeah, and then just do it. Keep doing it, and
learn, right? Always learning about
get better.
So sure. It takes about anywhere from 4 to 6 years of constant learning to be good at something.
Well, there's that 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah,
10,000 hours to become an expert in something.
So yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. Just keep that in mind.
It could. Wait, how many hours in one night? No, it's not going to happen overnight. 10,000. Let's think about this. 10,000 hours, real quick, right? 10,000 hours. How many days is that, right? 24 hours in a day. That's 416 days, right? But that's 24 hours.
24 hours.
So what would you say is a good average to do something a day?
2 hours.
If you wanted to get better, 2 hours a day.
3 hours, 4 hours.
Let's average 2 hours, right? If someone could spend 2 hours
5,000 days, divide that over 365, how many years? About
what?
Inception.
No, Adrian's really fast with numbers.
Yeah.
2 hours, right?
So 2 hours.
2 hours.
So divide 10,000. Yeah. Over 2.
Yeah,
that's 5,000. Then divide 5,000 over 365, and that's how many years?
Shit, that's a lot.
I'm a walking calculator.
Hold on. I'm not. So even with a calculator, I'm not a walking calculator.
I could actually
2 hours a day. Okay, maybe that's not. That's a long
10,
time.
10,000 over 2.
Yeah.
That's 5,000 over 365.
Yeah. So it's right.
So that's about 100.
So that's like 13 and a half years, maybe 13 years and
let's just call it 10 years because
how is that? It's like 13. That's 3 years. 3 years and 8 months.
3 years short
and 8 months. Yeah. That's too much. But yeah.
So it's about 10 years. And let's just say 10 years.
Is it 10,000 hours?
It's 10,000 hours, but I say it's 10 years. I say it's 10 years.
Okay.
That's just because I guess I'm a little faster. But so Melania says, so in response to her comment, I'm satisfied with the person I'm becoming. So just trying new things and keeping myself organized.
Hey.
That's really important. I think there's got to be some organization, not too much, because then if something doesn't work out according to your expectations, then you're going to be disappointed, and disappointment causes stress, and
and we talked about that in the past about expectations. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't have them. Don't get rid of them, please. Don't have them. It's
no
not,
expectations.
It doesn't help anybody. But I do want to mention a few ways where we can all get en route to emotional wellness.
Please do.
So one is to remind yourself to stay positive always. When? Always. Sometimes? No, always. Always stay positive. Remind yourself to always stay positive. And then number 2 is to smile. You might be having a rough day. You know what?
Still smile.
Exactly. Smile. You have control over that. You might not have control of the people around you, but you have control of yourself, and you can make yourself smile without any problems, right? Number 3, seek or accept help and support from others when needed. It's okay to accept help from people. This is why we're all here. This is why we are here talking to you. We want to help.
Yeah, sure.
And then we would appreciate if you help us in return as well.
How?
In the comments.
By liking the page, following our channel.
Yep.
Check us out on Spotify, on Google Play, on Google Podcast, or Google
and Apple Podcast platforms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, number 4, employ gratitude to your life in order to strengthen relationships with family and friends. Gratitude is what we spoke about earlier. Practice being mindful and increase your awareness. This can be done through various forms of meditation, and also, sometimes this trackpad does not want to do what I want it to do. Accept mistakes, and learn from them for next time. Right? Accept the mistakes. Mistakes happen. Don't dwell on them. Accept them and learn from them for next time. You're not going to make the same mistake unless you don't accept it and you dwell in it. You might make the same mistake again. Mistakes are not terrible experiences. They are learning experience. And last but not least, balance your other dimensions of wellness. Right? Balancing your other dimensions is going to help you a lot with your emotional wellness as well, because they all connect to each other in one way, shape, or form. All right. So we hope you learned a lot today. We hope that we were able to serve you the best way possible with the 8 dimensions of wellness. Let us know in the comments where you're at on your emotional wellness, and if you need some resources, we can definitely hook you up with some more resources on getting better with emotional wellness and the other 8 dimensions of wellness as well, or the other 7.
Yep. Yes,
so,
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Definitely. So with that, sorry, go ahead.
Does that bring it to kind of a close for you?
Yeah, I think so. So with that said, don't forget to follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Please like and share. And then also you can find us on Facebook at Higher Thinking Live. We have a Facebook page there. And then if you'd like to become a patron member, where you can gain exclusive or access to exclusive content that we put specifically for patron members, you can do so at patreon.com/Higher Thinking Live. Don't forget to look us up on Instagram at Higher Thinking Live as well. And then you can catch the podcast as well, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and other podcast platforms that we are on. Did we cover all of them?
I think we did. I think we've talked about this before, but I'll mention it real quick just because we're running out of time. For anybody that is a business owner in the local community here in Schaumburg, Streamwood, Hannibal Park, Bartlett, Carl Stream, Elgin, Carpentersville, Palatine, Mount Prospect, Rolling Meadows area, Elk Grove. Just feel free to drop us a line, man. We'll be happy to showcast maybe your business, like give it a
shout out.
A shout out, your business on our channels, our platforms, and that way, you know, we can help the community grow, and get to know each other, you know, as a community.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, that's our mission, and that's what we're doing every single Monday and Friday.
Every single day, basically, but
every single Monday and Friday here on the live stream, but every day in person. If you'd like to connect with us in person, feel free, drop us a line, send us an email, send us a message.
Yeah, if you have
we'll get to you.
Yeah, if you have any questions on how to do anything, I'm sure Brian knows a lot of stuff. I mean, just a lot. I can't even mention everything, you know. And I know some stuff, and so if you have a question on how to do something in your business, in your house, anywhere, we'll be happy to share some information with you. Just shoot us a question,
and we'll have an answer
for sure.
If we don't, we'll find the answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. Well, that's it from us. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Thanks for sticking around. And don't forget to like and share. And we'll catch you guys on the next live stream here on Higher Thinking Live. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And be safe. Wash your hands all the time. And stay, just be safe.
Be mindful of your surroundings.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Good night and have a nice weekend.